everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for taking out time to join us for this webinar. And before we get started, I'll just take a minute to talk a little bit more about the topic today, which is unlocking intelligent document processing. Now, we have been talking about the need for organizations to be competitive in today's fast-paced business landscape, and that requires them to be agile and efficient. And while this agility and efficiency needs to be applied to all aspects of the business, one aspect that most, or rather some of the IT leaders forget, is the documents aspect, and how this applying this agility and efficiency to the documents and the document workflows can have a major impact on the productivity, on the cost, and on the innovation and agility of organizations. So today we will talk about more on this, and we're looking at the operations. They are becoming more and more data centric, and the onus of success lies in applying the agility and responsiveness to handling and processing the documents where this data resides, which is what I spoke about. And most of the data resides in these documents, and therefore it's important to apply this agility to the documents. The traditional approaches that we have been using, which is to document processing, which is the manual side, it has fallen short of keeping up with the dynamically changing demands of modern businesses. And being prone to errors such as data entry errors and slow processing speeds, the manual processes hinder productivity and efficiency. Now, intelligent document processing helps address these challenges. It leverages AI and automation to classify, extract, validate, and integrate data seamlessly, which is leading to improved accuracy, reduced errors, and faster decision making. So we will delve into more on the role of intelligent automation in document processing and how organizations can effectively leverage it to unlock new avenues for optimizing workflows and managing large volumes of information. So without further ado, I would like to welcome our two expert speakers. Please join me in welcoming Astha Agarwal, who is the lead solution engineer at MuleSoft, and Abhishek Gosal, who is the regional sales director at MuleSoft. So before I hand it over to both of them, we have three poll questions that we would like your responses to, because this will also kind of give us an idea, a gauge, what is your thinking on some of the key aspects. So if we can have the poll questions up, please. So here is the first poll question, which is, have you used MuleSoft before? We have about 30 to 35 seconds. You can take out time to answer this question. The options are yes, no, or planning to. Okay, so yes and no is almost equal. Exploring, so that's a positive outcome that a lot of companies are exploring, and so that is, I think, something which is kind of Abhishek, I would like to take your inputs on these, so we can close the response. So yeah, a majority of the companies are exploring, which kind of suggests that they do realize the importance of integrating AI into the document processing. So Abhishek, over to you if you would like to, what is your take on the finding, if you can share that.
Thank you so much. And I think, it is very pertinent, and thank you everybody for joining in. The poll questions, when I see that, a lot of you have not used or have not used MuleSoft in the past, it's a great place to be in over here to learn a little bit about what we do. The question two and question three, okay, where you were talking about accuracy and integration, where we see and this whole intelligent document processing, session that we are having will kind of double click on all of it, is that, how do you use not only the capability of reading a document, but at the same time also use AI ML to ensure that the document is read correctly. And that is what I think question two was, accuracy or accuracy, a bit of it that everybody spoke of. I think that is super pertinent because it's not only important to read at scale and at a speed, but also to read accurately. And that's what is going to scale the overall ability to process and ingest more documents. So with that, let me introduce myself. I am Abhishek. I lead large enterprise business for MuleSoft in India. Along with me is Astha and Vikas. Vikas is also going to answer some of your questions live on this webinar. So you can post your questions on the chat, and then he will try and answer as many as possible. So that's kind of a little bit of our introduction. If you can go to the next slide. So let me take you through where we started from, right? MuleSoft essentially was a company which was founded in the year 2006. It is almost 20 years now that we have been dealing with API management integration. So if you look at the first two boxes, those are kind of the areas that we had started off with. We started off with an open source ESB, and then matured to become an integration product. We also understood that with integration, a lot of API proliferation happens. And with that API proliferation, a lot of APIs that you need to take care of is out there in your enterprise. And with that, we thought that it would be right to have an API management product on top to manage and secure all these APIs. Uh, Post that, as we are part of a large software firm now, so we do a lot of research and development and keep enhancing our products so that with each new release, we are able to bring something new to the customer. The automation piece, which we brought to our customers, this was almost a year back that we brought to our customers, that has multiple components. Again, one of those components of the automation is this intelligent document processing. We also have the RPA capability, etc., which kind of seamlessly integrates with the whole infrastructure that we have and the platform that we have. Uh, and today, it would be kind of leaving out a major topic if we don't talk about AI. So any of the AI engine or any of the AI agentic journeys that you do requires data. And therefore, MuleSoft is one of the key proponents to kind of provide that data to the AI engine. So in a nutshell, what our platform gives is across integration and automation. Automation is what we are going to speak today in the whole IDP discussion that we are going to have. If you can flip to the next slide, please. Yeah. And so what we've seen, and this is true as we grow as a nation, we've seen that, if you want to scale your business, you essentially either go to new geographies. Okay, so for example, if you were in the western part of India, probably you will open up, branches, etc., in the southern part of India or the eastern part of India, put in more people and scale your business that way. That, what I understand and what I see, is a linear type of scaling. So, which essentially means the more people that you add, the more business it will get for you. But for our large enterprises, they have seen that this linear scaling is no longer the best go-to way to kind of scale. And therefore, you need to adopt technologies, you need to adopt things like automation to be able to scale non-linearly, as I say, with the same amount of staff, with the same amount of offices, with the same amount of capital investment, can you grow your business? So what we've seen is with solutions in automation like IDP, okay, we've seen the average time to kind of take care of documentation, etc., reduces. Okay, the accuracy increases, and overall operational costs, etc., um, goes down. So which means the profitability for your businesses go up. So that is something that we've seen across multitude of customers. And probably, if you look at the next chart, if you can just go to the next one, why do you need this kind of a system? Okay, you need this kind of a system because probably, your team, which is in different locations, okay, has X amount of human hours that they can spend. Okay. And in whatever discussions that I have with a lot of my customers, the productive time is more like 6 to 6.5 hours for anybody doing a shift. So that's the productive time. How wonderful would it be to to have something that can work obviously 24 cross 7 plus with the accuracy, because it's not a human, it is actually a machine, so it works with that greater accuracy. So what we've seen also currently, that it's not that our customers or our clients are not using a similar kind of a system. We've seen some of the clients use similar document ingestion techniques, but what we've seen is the accuracy is pretty low, and that is where, you know, we have seen and multiple discussions that we've done with customers, we've seen the IDP solution that we have very great accuracy with high confidence scores. The non-scalability part is something that we spoke of, like inefficiencies, non-scalability, that leads to a lot of business loss. For example, if you are, say, a freight forwarder and you are getting an airway bill, and if you have to punch in the airway bill into probably the flight route or the flight routine, and if there are mistakes, okay, if suppose the thing that you're shipping out is 700 kilos and the actual quantity of the material is 800 kilos, you're already losing out 100 kilos and you're not able to bill the customer back. So these inefficiencies can be scrubbed by using a very automatic or automated solution, and that is where IDP comes into the fray. Uh, I will hand it over to my colleague Asta to take you through the rest of it and then follow it up with a short demonstration of the product. Over to you, Asta.
Hey everyone. Thank you again for joining this seminar. I hope you go with some of the insights on what IDP does. How will it help you have these document processing, not just plain document processing, but how do you intelligently process these documents, right? So as we were mentioning about the challenges that is listed on the screen, have the companies or the organization not tried solving them? Couple of them did, couple of them are still exploring too. But what have they done so far is they have tried the conventional OCR way or the custom trained AI model way. What happens in these conventional technologies or your plain vanilla OCR technologies is you have a lot of constraints like of structure constraint that, let's say, for an example, you have a purchase order with you, which is coming from a vendor A, where your purchase order number could be on the top right corner. You have a vendor B where your purchase order number is on the top left corner and the purchase order number, which is the label, is changed to order number, let's say. Now, all these OCR technologies that is there today fails with these structure dependencies because it has to be manipulated and then comprehended to take any action after it has given the output. To solve that, the next best solution came in was custom trained AI model, where you go ahead and do a lot of annotations, labeling, a lot of sampling and training of those custom trained AI models. But then came those flexibility constraints, then came those accuracy concerns because you might be biasly training. You might be training your purchase orders for vendor A with 1,000 samples, for vendor B with 200 samples. There could be n number of reasons why there are accuracy concerns that will arise with the custom trained AI model. There will be challenges with the downstream system integrations that will come in. Overall, if you see, the technologies that you would have tried so far will have one or the other constraints. Then how do we go ahead and solve this problem? And that's where exactly intelligent document processing will help you do that. Why the word intelligent, right? What is intelligent about it? So if I simplify it, it is a combination of the technologies likes of OCR. We are still having the OCR as one of the technologies in the entire tech stack. ICRs, which is intelligent character reading for your hand-written documents, your NLP, natural language processing, your AI models, your machine learnings, and your computer vision. All coming together gives you those accuracies, those volumes, those scalability, those integrations, all of those capabilities at one place. Let me build this slide for you. What are the different steps that you take while you are processing a document, right? You take the document sources could be any place. It could be as simple as an email box. It could be a SFTP, an FTP server. It could be an application, could be likes of Salesforce, SAPs, ERPs of the world, or could be any location for that matter. You take the document from there. When I say you, as in the IDP engine will help you take those documents from different input sources. Now, if we understand documents, right? Documents could be of three types. Majorly, you will have structured documents, like of your Form 16s. Very specific format, always comes in those structure only. It could be semi-structured, like of your invoices, purchase orders, and so on and so forth. And then it could be unstructured also, those free-flowing text of agreements, lot of text written in paragraphs, and there is no format to it. There is no restriction on what type of data IDP can process. It can essentially process all three categories. Now you can think of the art of possibility, right? You can think of a lot of structured documents, which probably you were doing it today, but you were letting go of the semi-structured and unstructured because those were complicated for OCRs technologies to process. But that pain is gone because now you have capability to process these unstructured and semi-structured also. And as we speak, we will build that confidence in you and how we can do it using IDP. Once you have created or taken the document in, the next obvious step would be to take the extraction out. Now, this is very interesting to know. How do you process it today is probably using an OCR. You just give a label, you give the regular expression to be called it as the validations that you want to perform. All of that you build, you custom build, it becomes very template based. Instead of that, if you have an intelligent solution to extract these documents, right, that's exactly what document extraction step will do for you. Once you have extracted, it's not there to just keep it, right? You have to transform it to send it to any of the downstream system. Those will be your third and fourth step. That is, you structure. Now, whatever unstructured, semi-structured document that you have intaked is now structured and transformed so that it can be used in any downstream system. For an example, you have taken a purchase order. You extracted the required field, 10 fields, 50 fields, 100 fields, whatever number of fields that you need in order to do any action on those. You have extracted those data. And in the same workflow, you will have the capability to integrate it with, let's say, an ERP system to create that entry of purchase order. So that's how easy 4 steps will be needed in order to do an end-to-end automation workflow from an input to the function or the process that you want to perform to an output that you want to give to any integration system. Let's deconstruct these problems, right? Let's say you have a purchase request, a handwritten purchase request for that matter. Now, how do I and you know that it is a purchase request? Looking at the format of the request, format of the document, you have some of the keywords at the top and all of it. That is what you and I will call it as classification, right? What type of document is this? Where are the documents? Where are the documents typed? It could be on the top, it could be anywhere else. That's exactly what IDP engine will built in have the capability to classify your documents. Let's say you are sending a bunch of documents together. It could be your KYC documents, could be your agreement documents, could be your warranty documents, could be your purchase orders, invoices. But for each of these data input that you give, you need a separate kind of output. So you first classify them. Once you have classified, the next obvious step would be, what do you need out of it? What information to extract? It could be the line items, it could be some of the dates, could be some of the total items, whatever be it. What information do you want to extract becomes the second step. Now you have extracted it. We are talking about accuracy. We are talking about how well it would be. There could be human in the loop interventions also, right? So there are chances where you want to do human interventions. So where do that follow is maybe into the validation steps. Maybe if the total line items is not totaling up to the total amount, maybe you need a human in the loop interventions. Maybe when the confidence is low, below the threshold, you need a human in the loop. So all of those straight throughput process and your exception scenarios are handled so that you have an end-to-end document processing solution. Once you have validated your extraction, next step comes up is that integration that you want to do with the downstream system. Let's say creating a purchase order into NetSuite or any of the ERP of the world. And then also send some notifications if my total amount is so and so, send some approval flows and all of that. So all of those actions can be taken on extraction and validations. Once you have done that, you can take an insight on how much did you save versus how you were doing it manually before. Once you have done all this, the entire thing becomes your IDP solution where you can extract and structure these data faster in any format essentially. And all of this is powered by AI. And how that AI element is coming, all of it, we will see it in action also, live demo that I'll do for you. But in all, if you see IDP, this will help you maximize your efficiencies, minimize those costs that you are spending manually or into some custom solutions that are there today in the organizations in siloed running for some type of documents. Some type of documents are left for manual review and all of that. It gives you that end-to-end workflow automation for documents as well. And since it is all no training required, no annotation, no labeling required, it is faster time to market because you can deliver your solutions way faster. There is no training, no sampling that you need. You just upload your document, you design what you need out of the document, and you're ready to use it. All of this is powered by Einstein, which is Salesforce proprietary AI capability. That is what will help you add those prompts, ask those questions, what you need out of the document in a very English or natural language prompt technique. You can ask Einstein to extract unstructured data fields, to format the responses so that the unstructured data becomes structured. You can intuitively perform some of the reviews that you would like to do with a human in the loop. You can classify, you can do a lot of insights gathering out of the document. I'll take you to the demo now. Before the demo, these are some of the sample documents we usually see, and it could be your invoices, could be your purchase orders, could be some of the handwritten receipts, could be your KYC documents, different kind of KYC documents for address proofs, for your PAN cards and all that, right? Let's see some of these in live and how do we extract them. Again, you can go ahead and type in your questions in the Q&A if there is anything that is coming to your mind while I take you to the demo. What you see on the screen is an AnyPoint platform. As we were mentioning at the start, MuleSoft as a platform is a unified platform for all the integrations, API management, and automation needs. We are focusing on the automation side of the things, which is intelligent document processing. But the same platform extends to your integrations, your API gateways, your API monitoring, all of those also comes as part of this platform. Today, we are focusing on automation. If I go to intelligent document processing, and whatever I'm showing you is to show you that how easy it is to build that entire end-to-end solution right here within next 15 minutes or so. Let's create new document action. Now, what does document action means? What kind of action do you want to take on the document for the extraction bit? There are some of the very well-known types of documents which are listed. Could be invoices, could be purchase orders, if at all. And of course, there are way many documents apart from invoices and purchase order. And we as a product team understands that there could be a generic document. We don't know the type of the document. Let us define the extraction, right? So there could be generic documents also. Let's get started with an invoice and see what happens. Now for an invoice, as an entire set of invoices that this is pre-trained on and all of it, we came to a conclusion that there are some of the schema fields which are relevant when it comes to invoices. Could be your invoice dates, invoice numbers, could be your table line items, anything for that matter. Let's create this. Let me give it a name, today's date, and I give it a name and it goes in. What you see here is all those list of fields, right? The fields which are predefined. Now, for an Indian context, maybe there is another field which is not listed here. Am I restricted to not use IDP for those scenarios? No. You can always, and I'll show you how easy it is, always ask a prompt to the Einstein, which will let you retrieve the details in literally microseconds of that matter. Let me select some file for that. Let me select an invoice. I'm doing no labeling, no annotation. I'm just running this right here. I go to these fields. All of this extraction will be done right now into the relevant field. Whatever is being found, whatever is not being found will be told that not being found. Also, it can extract whether the signature is there or not, metadata about it. You will see that there are totals, there are a lot of buyer addresses which is present and all of it. So you can go ahead and see, since it is highlighting, these are not very visible. I'll show the format itself. If you go to your invoices, your single valued fields, it could be your invoice number, invoice date, your PO number, your due date, and all of it. But is IDP not able to extract these multi-valued fields or the line items? The answer is no. You have a table where you can extract the entire multi-valued field. Again, a conventional OCR will have very high struggle in extracting these fields or associating them that this particular description has this unit price or this amount, which is so easy now with IDP that you can just run it through and it extracts those per line. And then if you see it is trained on multiple fields, right? Which is there here. You can go ahead and use them if that is required, or you can go ahead and make them invisible as well. Now, whatever I'm showing is a design time experience. You do it once and it is ready for you to be used. So if you see here, all of this is extracted. Another bit to look at it, which is interesting, is how confident the engine is on the extraction is also being displayed. So that why is this needed, right? Let's say my some of the fields, let's say invoice number and invoice dates, are very critical for business to decide what invoices are coming or the total amount for that. I would I would like the IDP engine to give me a better confidence. Or if it is not giving a better confidence because of the accuracy reasons, because of the format, because of the resolution of the document, because of various reasons, it gives me a confidence percentage. Now, if you see for this particular field, it has given me a 99.95% confidence. And there is a threshold. If I define this threshold as 80%, let's say, there is no human in the review required. So that the entire invoice processing becomes an entire straight throughput process, or shortened as STP. So all of these higher confidence fields become STP for you, so that there is no human involved. But for the fields, we don't want to go ahead and directly put it as an STP. You can always define the threshold, and it goes ahead and do this into the reviewer task. So whoever is my review for this particular document action, or a group of users, a particular business group, whoever are the reviewers, you can go ahead and add those, and they become the reviewer for the lower threshold or lower confident fields, if at all there are any. This is added so that you can have the control on those business critical fields, on those lower confidence fields, if at all they persist. Now let me show you one quick magic here. There are 51 fields, whatever number of fields, right? But I might need a 50-second field. It could be anything. For now, anyway, everything is extracted. But let me give you an example. I say I want to find the invoice number. And I'll explain you better in another type of format, another type of documents as well. I'll say, what is the invoice number? Okay. And I just add it. What I have given is just a plain English language prompt. I added it. I run this. As soon as I run this, you will see that it will extract this. And this is again a design console. And I'll show you why I'm emphasizing on this is a design console, which is a one-time activity. So if you see, it is 100% confident using Einstein. It has extracted 100 as the invoice number. What if I upload another type of invoice and say that the invoice number isn't returned as invoice hash, it is returned as INV right? Will it be able to extract the data, or is it a structure dependency? There is no structure dependency whatsoever. Until and unless it is an invoice, it will be able to extract an invoice number against this particular prompt itself. And I'll show it to you in some of the other formats as well as we grow. Whatever we have done, it's done and dusted. I need these many fields. I needed some of the fields. I don't need some of the fields. I can go ahead and mark them. All of this is done. Why are we doing all of this? Is it a redundant task that I have to do every time I'm sending an invoice? No, only once. Why? I save this, right? As soon as I save it, I publish this, and I can add if I want a reviewer. Let me add it so that not even a warning is also not there. That is not even an error. So I add this, I save it, and then I publish it. Now, what will it do as a publish? So as an end result, IDP gives you an API. Why API? Now, these API are agnostic to be used in Salesforce, in MuleSoft, in your homegrown applications. Wherever you can consume an API, you will be good to consume these APIs, which you have just designed. Just now, what I have done is design that entire document action for you. Now, where is it cataloged, or where is it returned? You will see that we have a capability called as Anypoint Exchange, again, part of the same platform. This gets published there so that you can see the entire documentation in the sense that what type of request is coming, what type of response does this particular API gives. So if you see, it has just uploaded this some few seconds ago, and it is giving me endpoints, right? It is giving me a post endpoint, it is giving me this endpoint here, and you will be able to send documents to these APIs right away. And let me show it to you how. If I use this, and this is something that you can use in your Postman to go ahead and simulate this, in your Mule integration flows that we create to consume these APIs, or anywhere for that. Let me go ahead and send a file to this particular API that we just created. It could be any file for that. Since we wanted to make it all authenticated and secured, there are client credentials that will be needed in order to extract these results. If I go ahead and use this, you will see that I can copy paste some of the IDs, which is again already available with you. And I go ahead and create this as automation header and I send it across. As soon as I send it, my file is being posted and it has given me an ID. Now, what do I do with this ID? I want to get the results at the end, right? I use this ID so that it is all async. You can post multiple files at once and in parallel. I use that ID which is being sent and I send the data. What it asks me to do here is, it is saying that status is manual validation required. Why is it required? Because there might be a field which is lower confident and it goes ahead and fits into the review task. There will be a task that gets created at the end, which you will be notified about, and you can go ahead and review that particular task for any field which is lower than the threshold that you would have defined. So let me go to that particular task and I'll be able to show you how easy would it be. As soon as I submit the task, you will be able to see the status changing to be a success. That means the entire extraction is now for you to use. I could search it or I could go at the last. I'll just quickly look at the last if I can go there. This one, 1 minute ago. You will see that payment due term, payment terms, right? This one, it is saying that this is some confident. And if I say submit and done and resubmit this request, right? Same request, it says succeeded. Now your data is reviewed also by a human for all the lower confident fields. You will have the output return here. You will see that whatever, even the prompt that we would have returned comes back as the value here. Let me show you some other variations and then we will see another demo entirely. Let me show you one quick demo of generic document. And this will be interesting for you to look at those documents which are not invoices, not POs, right? Again, all of this live because the ease of configuring this, ease of writing those prompts is so easy that it all can be configured live as we talk. Now, for KYC documents, it's not just one type, right? If I'm applying for a loan, I am applying for a loan with a PAN card and my address proof is, let's say, a passport. Or if I'm applying for a loan, it could be my PAN card, of course, and my KYC or my address proof could be a driving license, could be an Aadhaar card. But all of these are KYC documents. If you go conventional way, each format would require you to write some logics against it. But if you are using, let's say, an IDP, a MuleSoft IDP, and I'm selecting some random Aadhaar cards, some random driving licenses, not just Indian driving licenses, some international driving licenses, and I open them in the design console here. If you see, all of them are varied types, right? Some of them, even within an Aadhaar, and we know that there could be multiple formats of Aadhaars as well. What data would I need? Now, if you will see the beauty, I don't even write the prompt. Prompt also becomes optional for me. I just write what I need from them. I need a name from them. And I need a document number from them. Okay. And I add this and I run this without writing any prompt. Even I'm not asking what is the name or what is, not even framing a question. So if I say document number and all of this is an Aadhaar card for a person. The name is extracted, the Aadhaar number is extracted. Format completely changed for a PAN card. Still it is able to extract it. It completely changed and it becomes a driving license. It has no labeling, nothing that this is the document number, right? But still it is able to do it. If I go to a different format of some international driving licenses, still it does this. If I go to a different format of Aadhaar card, all in all, what we are trying to say is, be it any format of your document, if you need the static details out of it, you can very well create it into IDP. There is no dependency on the structure. You get the confidence percentage to be seen. You can involve your humans in the loop if needed. Then what you do with this is you integrate with the downstream systems. How do you integrate? We looked at it. You just use these APIs, the JSON format that is there, and you are good to go. And I'll show it to you. Now you have done this, but maybe there could be multiple ways that I can do this, right? I might need to combine a lot of details. Let me delete this just so that I can show you a consolidated, or even consolidated version of these entire data. Now I'm extracting a lot of data together. I can extract tables also in a generic document, not just in invoices and purchase orders. Let's say for a bank statement, you want to extract all of the bank transactions. Now, what happened is I've extracted multiple fields, wrote a prompt, of course, because I want to consolidate data. If you will see here the doc number, and it is giving me a JSON because I have defined that it should be extracted as a JSON. If you look at this, and these are some of the use cases that we are talking to different industries that they want to extract between, or they want to distinguish between first name and last name, where none of these OCR engines, of course, will do that for you, right? Even without any labeling that this particular first thing is first name, or even if it is Kumar Roop, it will be able to distinguish between this like this itself. That you have first name as Roop, last name as Kumar, whatever be the sequence here. I have multiple examples which I can show where first name and last name are either concatenated, reversed, all of it, but still it does the good job of identifying them separately. You have your date of birth return. If you see this bit, right, the address bit of it, you will see that your street, your city, your state, all of these are extracted and bifurcated and segregated into multiple other fields. Same thing, if I go here, whatever is available is extracted, whatever is not available, it says null or not found, whatever is available again for this particular document, it goes ahead and segregates and gives me a document. Why are we doing all this? What is the need of document processing? We know, and hence this webinar, right? You want to, let's say a loan application came in with the KYC documents. You get the documents into a particular application, let's say Salesforce, and let me go to that particular in particular demo environment itself, where you will see that how easy would it be for me to go ahead and do that. For some testing, I just switch this. So I'll just switch to the actual experience. So let's say I have accounts in which my documents get submitted, right? And let me search for accounts. This is a Salesforce screen. You can have any system where you want to get the documents. Let's say there is an account where some files gets uploaded. As soon as these files gets uploaded near real time, it goes ahead and process it. What does it do? It process. Let's say you have uploaded an Aadhaar card, which looks something like this. What we have seen in the console of design itself. It is like this. I want to extract some data fields, which are name, Aadhaar number, and all of it. As soon as I upload it, it goes ahead and gives me the data right here. It has given me the data as Aadhaar card, and it has also extracted these fields. The action that you want to take, right? As soon as you're uploaded the file, it should extract and do some action on it. That action could be extracting the data and feeding it into any screen for that matter. Could be a Salesforce screen, could be your ERP screen, could be your homegrown systems. All of it, it can go ahead and integrate. And hence we called at the start that it could be an end-to-end document solution for you. So what is running behind the scene is exactly what we developed right now, right? This is an API for you. That API is running behind the scene. As soon as there is a document uploaded, it goes ahead and classify that. It classifies it as either let's say there could be multiple document type in this list. It can go ahead and also classify that this is a wrong document. Let's say for a loan application, somebody would have submitted a picture of a wall or a boarding pass or any other dummy or garbage documents. Today, what happens is you spend time in recognizing those not in good order kind of loan applications, right? The NEGO as we call them. So we are running it in an NBFC customer also, where we have done that efficiency for them to generate even better STP or better TAT or turnaround time, because we are, as an IDPs, identifying those not in good order loan applications, so that sales executives who is taking the documents from the customer, then and there goes ahead and say that, no, Aadhaar card you have of your spouse, but you have applied the loan application for yourself, because it is able to tell you that the first name which is there in the loan application is not matching with the first name which is there in the Aadhaar card. So you can do all sorts of validations. Think of the scenarios that you can around the documents that you want to process. Now, these are some generic documents. There could be generic documents likes of your agreements, likes of your bank statements that you can go ahead and process. One bit that I would like to show you is how does this fits and what does it provides you while we are onboarding in your organization intelligent document processing, right? There could be multiple business objectives. It is not even an entire list of it, but we saw at the start that how these three becomes key critical need, right? Driving efficiency. Now, when we say driving efficiency, we meant that you automate the entire document lifecycle. What do you achieve or what metrics do you measure IDP success on, right? How much of the turnaround time did we reduce? That NBFC example that I gave is essentially for this itself. Where what we are doing today is, as soon as a loan application gets the documents uploaded, IDP runs behind the scene, gives you, along with Agent Force, summary that these are the fields which are correct, these are the documents which is correct. So the sales executives does not submit a not good application to the operations team. And they reduce the turnaround time, which was, let's say, before a day to some minutes or half an hour or things of that sort. So you reduce that entire document processing time. There is fun in having first time right things, right? Because now at the very first, you are not making any error because you have the extraction right in front of you. Since this is accelerated time to market, right? Because there are pre-trained models which is running behind the scene. There are a lot of Gen AI capabilities which you can just ask the question, it gives you the output into the document. The delays, the revenue leakages are very less. So that, let's say for a logistic company, you go ahead and upload a airline bill of whatever consignment you would have sent. The airline is charging the logistic company more because they found that the weight that you have booked is 5 kg, rather they have found it 10 kgs or 5.8 kgs or whatever, and they charged it more. There is a lot of revenue leakages. Maybe you have not charged for that zero 0.8 grams for your shipper, right? So all those revenue leakages might look small for one document or one transaction. If you compound them, they become huge and causes a lot of revenue leakages. Another thing in revenue itself could be your dealer onboardings, right? Where you want to onboard dealers. And there are a lot of documents that get submitted because the document processing is taking a lot of time. The dealer is not starting the billing or not selling the products that you would like them to sell. There is a lot of revenue loss that you are making because of the slowness in the process of the document extraction and document processing. Of course, all of this at the end of the day will give better customer satisfaction because the loan application submitted by me will be processed way faster than it was done before. The dealers will be able to sell their things better because they are onboarded faster. So if you look at the use cases that is there, wherever there is a document, there is a use case of IDP. But to make it a little easy, this is not even a comprehensive list. That's why it is so small. But even still with that not being comprehensive, it is this busiest slide because there are use cases which is not just industry specific, which could be horizontal, agnostic to industries, which could be industry specific as well. It could be divided into all three kinds of offices that is running in any organization, be it the front office operations, the middle office, the back office operations. If you look at automotive manufacturing, if you look at financial services, your NBFCs, non-banking financial services, your retail consumer goods, your communication, media, and travel, all of them have one or the other use case for documents to process. Just quickly touching base on few of them. It is anyway there on presented on the screen. You can look at it. But let's say dealer onboarding, right? As I was saying, the dealer submits a lot of documents with which is the sales manager is reviewing and then making a call whether it is the right dealer to have a business with or not. There could be a lot of contract and invoice processing that we are doing. Now, invoice processing, for that matter, does not even fall into a particular industry. It could be across all the industries. So you think of a document, think of it whether how you are processing it today makes sense for you to onboard it to IDP because the processing is faster, because you are essentially spending no time extracting the data out of it. Rather, your time is being spent on the the action that you are taking on it, the validation that you want to perform on top of it, right? That's about it. And since I was saying that automation as an entire package comes within MuleSoft, MuleSoft has various other automation techniques as well as integration techniques. The idea behind all of it is data could be in systems, data could be in databases, data could be in ERP systems, CRM systems, OMS systems, WMS systems, you name it, data could be anywhere. And data could be in documents also. MuleSoft doesn't want to let go of any data which is either sitting in your system of records, which can be integrated with Mule integration capabilities, or it could be sitting in your documents, which can be integrated now with the intelligent document processing. So if you need document data, if you need system data, if you need any kind of data, you will be able to integrate it with using different capabilities that comes within the platform. That's about it. I'll take a pause and take all the questions that we have online, and I see most of them are getting answered live by Vikas. Thank you so much. But if there is anything which is unanswered and we need to take it up, I'm good to take them.
We have Vikas answering the questions, but there are still a few which you would like to take up, Astha.
Sure.
So there is a question by Bob Panigrahi. He's asking, will this product analyze assessment reports based on regulatory guidelines as SOC 2, Type 2 reports, PCI AOC?
So when you are talking about assessment reports, these are majorly your unstructured documents, right? So when you want to do the extraction, IDP does the extraction for you. Now you want to validate basis, let's say regulatory guidelines, your SOC 2 reports and all of them. This is part of the validation that we talked about at the start that you can extract and then validate using integration capabilities, using Gen AI capabilities, all of it. So yes, the answer would be yes. With a combination of technologies, you can do both the extraction as well as do the validation.
Great. There's a question from Hanif Sheikh. Will AI lead to large-scale unemployment? I think that's a very broad question. So we will skip to the next one by DK Agarwal, which is what is the cost per page?
So now this is an interesting bit. How do we define cost per page, right? You have an entire solution at your end. You give us the volumetrics to us that these are the documents that you process annually. This is essentially a consumption-based model. So you can go ahead and extract tens and thousands of documents, millions of documents in a year, or you can just process just hundreds and 200s of the documents. So the cost gets decided what kind of volume are you processing within that year. Or if Abhishek, you want to add it, you can.
No, I think, well answered from the cost angle. What we generally do as all software companies, you would see what is the volumetrics, what is your growth projections, what is the number of years that you want to have the contract in. And then we have fungible credit, which essentially means that if you aren't able to use the credits within the contract, say the first year of the contract term, you might be able to use it in the second year, depending on if there are spike loads that happen on your document processing. So that is something that's taken care of. Cost per page will be subjective to the volumetrics that you commit. So that is where it will be.
Okay. There's another question by Deepthi Mhatre. She's asking, will it, as in will the solution identify document tampering?
I see document tampering and I see some related questions on the below list as well. Maybe I'll take it together. So what happens when you say document tampering, right? Somebody have they done some fake forging of the documents? Have they done something else? IDP solution, how it can help you do that is you extract the data, let's say a PAN card number, right? You extract that PAN card number, send it to the actual PAN verification API, which will tell you whether this PAN card number is valid or not. But if the look and feel decides whether the document is tampered or not, maybe the font is changed, maybe the width of the paper is thicker than the actual width which is there of the PAN cards. No, the look and feel of the documents, IDP will not be doing that tampering detection. But if it is on the data points, you can of course extract it from the IDP and do it with a downstream system to check whether it is a valid PAN card, valid documents, and valid sort of things.
Things also, maybe I'll add to it, things like, on documents, if there are 5 places that you needed to do signature on, IDP can say that, have you done all those 5 signatures? Yes, it will not be able to compare your signature with the bank authorized signature or something like that, but it will be able to say that the document is complete, at least the signatures on all those 5 locations are done. That is something that you can get out of IDP to fasten or hasten your process of taking those documents through the cycle.
Okay. Thunder Swaran P wants to ask, were the documents already trained or is it first time extraction for this demo?
So this is the first time extraction for this demo. I could have gone to the extent of asking the documents from right now itself. So there is no training that was done on the samples that you saw. But since there is an LLM model running behind the scenes, so you understand that this is pre-trained on a very historic, sort of a very large sample, right? So you need not to train it on your own documents. So we can connect further on to do those custom thing on your samples itself, where I take your samples and show it that this is not even trained. It is first time extraction that you do. So yes, it was the first time extraction for this demo itself.
Okay, so Tinku is asking if we can share the recordings for later reviews. I think we'll check that, Astha, and Abhishek will check internally and see if this can be shared. Then Yogesh Kumar Sahu, so Vikas had already responded to him, but he's asking further questions on sharing the pricing details and a contact email. I'll pass this information along to my team. So maybe you can, so Vikas, you can contact Vikas.
Abhishek Ghoshal, if we can put an email address into the chat, then
Yes,
they can
please do
contact
that.
to all the attendees. Like,
Yeah, I think you can put in my email address.
sure.
So in the chat, if that will help.
And also, he's also asked about the pricing details.
Yeah,
sure.
so on the pricing bit of it, obviously we need to do the sizing to come on the pricing. And probably, we can take this offline and kind of have a discussion to see what is it that they want to achieve and then take it forward from there. So contact details, you can put my ID, email ID, and I can take it forward.
Sure, sure. I've sent it to Yogesh's question. I'm not seeing it to everyone sending a chat message, but I'm sending it still here. If anybody else panelists have an option to send it across to everyone, please send that email address to everyone.
Yeah, I'll just ask the admin if you can perhaps send the email ID to everyone in the chat window. Also, yeah, so there are a few more questions on the commercial part, which is, will it be it's license based or document based or number of pages based? Is it something you want to answer, or again, it will depend on other factors?
Yeah. So it all depends on the volumetrics, but the concept of the parameter or the construct is number of pages. How many number of pages you process, those number of credits you consume. So yes. If that helps, Thandeshwaran. Otherwise, you can always contact the email address given in one of the question, or if we are able to send it on to all the chats, we will send it across.
Okay. There's a question by Shraddha Bora. She's asking, what are the different forms in which the data can be extracted?
You can send any format for that matter as an input, right? It could be a structured, unstructured, semi-structured. As an output, since it is an API call, you will get it as a JSON. Now from JSON, do you want to convert it to UI fields, to any other format, you can transform it. The API, as you know, would give it to you in XML, Javas, JSONs, all of it that is available here as well.
Great. So we have a few more questions. So I think we have a minute. So let's try and take up three
Sure.
more, and then we can wrap it up. Then, of course, I think there's a question on increasing use of generating fake documents. Is there a possibility of validating these documents with their source? For example, if a PAN card is submitted, is there a way to validate that it's actually a valid PAN card and not generated using AI? Is it something similar to the tampering question?
Correct. So that's what I meant, that you take the PAN card number, then you validate with the downstream API, because there are NSDL APIs, there are Garza, there are a lot of APIs which actually identifies whether it is a right Aadhaar number or not, whether it is a right PAN card number or not. So how IDP will help you do this is, otherwise you will be struggling to first get the data out of it and then do the validation. So it can do the validation, the extraction, and then send it to the downstream system for the validations that you want to perform.
Yeah. Also, just can I just request the host? Asta has dropped in the email ID of Abhishek, but it's only visible to the panelists here. So request the host if you can. I think only the host will be able to send it to everyone. Please send this email ID to everyone who is present here in the webinar. Okay, so there's a question on what about by Anish Shrimali. What about the confidentiality of the data and privacy of the data, especially the customers' data in the financial organizations such as banking? Which if they opt for IDP, and how secure it is.
Thanks for the question, Anish. So when you see all of these, that IDP engine that we have worked on, right? What you see is we are not using any of the customer data for any kind of training. We are legally binded by all the LLM models, everything, that we are not using any of these customer data for any kind of training. There are agreements, there are legalities around it. So yeah, the confidentiality is being maintained, and they are anyway not used for any training for these LLM models or the AI models.
Okay. There's a question by Sunil Patole. Can IDP process the equipment data sheet with handling variations in the vendor to vendor data sheet templates and produce the output in the form data model by matching the field names?
Thanks for that elaborated question, Sunil. So what we meant is, you have data sheets which are coming from different vendors in different templates. There is a variation, there is no structure to these documents, and that's exactly a very ideal use case for IDP. So yes, it can do that. And for the output bit, yes, it can go ahead and feed it to the form data model that you want to do. And for the validation bit, where you want to match the field names, right? That's where the Gen AI capability of the Salesforce can come and will help you do those validations. If those are very just two-way matching of the field names, even Mule integrations can do that as well.
Yeah. Okay, let me take up one last question. So there is a question again on privacy aspect and data protection privacy issues, and how do you manage within a DPDP framework and maintaining the ethical and regulatory considerations. So Asa, you've already spoken about that. There's a question by Ishan Jaiswal. This is text analytics, but is there any audio video analytics in the software?
Thanks for that question, Ishan. So today it is around the documents, which is text. But if you extend and use the Salesforce Agentforce technologies, and there are a lot of roadmap items as well, where you can do these audio video analytics also. So not as part of Mule IDP, but Salesforce has the solutions for doing that as well.
Great. So I think we have covered more or less all the questions. So Rajesh Srivastava has put in Abhishek's ID also in the Q&A tab. I'll still repeat it for everyone's benefit. aghoshal@salesforce.com. I'll just repeat AGHOSHAL, aghoshal@salesforce.com. Okay, so while we were speaking, just one last question has come up. Where is the data stored?
So there is no storage of the data. This is just a temporary processing that we do, and it is a hosted solution. So there is no storage that we do. It is just a temporary processing that we are doing, and it is not a persistent storage.
Great. Thank you so much, Asta and Abhishek. I think this was 1 hour spent very well, and I hope all those who have joined us for the webinar will also find it beneficial. I think this is something that not many organizations are aware of, and but it is something which can make a significant impact on their productivity, on their efficiency. So thank you so much once again, and to all of you who were watching and listening to us. Thank you for keeping the questions flowing. This made it really interactive. But if you have further questions, do write in to us, and you also have Abhishek's email ID, so you can get in touch with Abhishek as well. So thank you so much, everyone, and hope you have a great day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great
Also,
evening.
we have a feedback form. So once everyone is logging off, the feedback form will be there. So just do fill up the feedback form. That will be very helpful for us to get your feedback.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye bye.